Can't keep my fucking boat straight. Yeah, I guess you're right about that one. Good shit. MV Shoneg, MV Shoneg, harbor captain.
Hey, Caitlin, you got me? Maybe holler at Legacy.
Legacy?
Yeah, Sean should have much more recent numbers than I.
Roger. Thank you.
Brother, both. I just revealed my secret about curve, bro. This shit is not easy to learn out here. It's easier to learn from things first and then things out here. Adjusting is just every 5 minutes. I feel like it's impossible to fish like this, bro. I try that spot where we're fucking where I fish all the time. I'm sure there's still a lot of halibut still in the bay. Let it every once in a while you'll see it hit the bottom. Boom, boom, boom. are.
Not sure if it's the same one, but yeah, there's some humpbacks in the area. I believe TZM is on it right now. Kind of long-winded, keeps changing directions and doing circles over there. Yeah, no problem.
Freedom, this is Hook for Life. Just past the gas stop.
Cerrito Pilot, Cerrito Pilot, North Strong. Cerrito, Port Control. This is storm zone. Maintain buoy is 1400, 1400. Can you advise the instruction for us?
Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is March 28th, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery. There's the state of California here to kind of the right. You can see it in the white outline, the Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left, and we've got a system that's going to swing through the Pacific Northwest. That one is largely going to miss California, but we do have some additional moisture that will be finally starting to get back into the area here, and we'll dive into some of those details here as we go over the video this morning. It's not quite what I was hoping for, but it is going to be a pattern change here across the state. I should emphasize that first things first. So taking a look at the max temperature departure from averages, you can see over the last 30 days, we've been extremely warm across the Southwest, record warm. We've never seen anything even close to this in the month of March before. In fact, many of these records would have broken April all-time temperature records, if you can believe it. So yeah, you guys are living through history right now if you're across much of California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and even off into portions of the plains as well. And if we take a look at Sacramento, California, you got today and tomorrow. Then you're just going to start to feel the cool down as we go through Monday and then on in through next week. You can see temperatures dropping back down, much more comfortable there. We may bounce back a bit in some of the heat, but it's definitely not going to be as hot as we just went through here across a lot of the region. Now, taking a look here at the ridge ongoing here, you can kind of see it right there across portions of West Texas right there. And California is still here, still above normal heights up into the Pacific Northwest on the day today. And then we scroll through and you see that system going through the Pacific Northwest. And you finally see some troughing approaching the coastline here as we go on in through portions of next week. So eventually we're going to start to get some precipitation chances. There's some model discrepancy on just how far south some of this precipitation is going to get, but I'll show you the latest on that here in a moment. Stronger storm arrives up into the Pacific Northwest. This will be having impacts on the state of California. If nothing else, it'll be cooling us down a bit here. Not exceptionally wet, but it will be bringing some precipitation with it as well. Then it kind of swings through, and then we kind of start to eye maybe another ridge trying to build off the coastline. We'll worry about that more here over the next few days. Now, looking at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right, of course, there's the state of California. We're looking at mainly 6-hour precipitation as we go. And you can kind of see, as we go through the day today, you cannot rule out a thunderstorm across some of the central Sierra there today, because we are on kind of the western periphery of that ridge, and it's bringing a little bit of that southwesterly flow. It might kick off a couple showers. Should be very isolated, though, but you can't even rule out a lightning strike or two. Then we go on in through Sunday afternoon. You can see, again, kicking off a shower. Maybe if you're out there, you might see something like that going on. Just remember that I mentioned that here. It's not going to be a big deal, but I did find it kind of interesting there. And now if we scroll through here, we go on in towards Tuesday. You kind of see the precipitation coming back across Northern California as we go through Monday afternoon, evening. Then as we go through the day Tuesday, comes back in towards the Sierra Nevada, some of the central coast here, maybe the Bay Area. You can kind of see the discrepancy between the GFS and the European. The European is bringing some of that precipitation even down towards, Santa Barbara, Ventura County, a little bit of light precipitation, maybe across the transverse range as well. And then that next stronger storm starts to arrive as we go on in through next week. And that one could, it's going to bring some cooler air with it. That could bring some mountain snows. I think it's generally above 7,000 feet, but, we'll take whatever Mother Nature wants to throw our way for sure. And then we scroll out towards next Thursday night. You can kind of see that. But yeah, hopefully the temperatures don't bounce back too much after that. Now, this is, I believe, a National Weather Service Las Vegas, which does cover portions of California. You can see we may still be setting some records here over the next few days. You can see Bishop, for example, right there, 84, 85, 84, and Death Valley. You can see we might be challenging some of these records over the next few days. Also, some more minimum records. Again, you can see Bishop and Needles out there. So, yeah, heads up for that. We're still dealing with some heat here across the region. More on that here in a moment. Taking a look at wind speeds, just trying to look to see if there's anything unusual coming. If I scroll out far enough, that system that starts to come in through later next week, you can see some stronger winds start to come. You can see these southwesterly winds, some gusty winds across the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada and whatnot. Then it starts to move a bit further south to Tehachapi, out across some of the desert areas, maybe the Transverse Range, Peninsula Range, will start getting some stronger winds in here as that system is passing through the area. We'll be paying attention to this a bit more here. We're looking, off in toward next week, and we'll see some of the high resolution stuff come in over the next couple of days. Yes, we are in a free fall here. In fact, let me update that, make sure that is up to date. That is the Central Sierra. Let's go to the entire state. And yeah, we're just purely in a free fall here. We've melted so much of our snow. I know a lot of areas have already completely melted out. We're well below normal. And this is probably going to have big impacts as we go on into fire season. However, the bright side of things is that our reservoirs are doing quite good. And we do have a pretty extensive reservoir system here across the state of California. Every single one is at historical average or above. So that is good news on that front. Now, if we look at Los Angeles, for example, you can see these warm temperatures again, a few more days of that, then we bounce back down, and then we potentially bounce back again as we start to head towards the mid portion of April. Same thing for Phoenix, but not quite as hot. And you can see Sacramento, again, bouncing back, not quite as hot, but still, that's pretty well above normal. I mean, 10, 15 degrees. That's pretty noticeable there. So San Francisco as well. There's Las Vegas. We'll see what that kind of trends. But you can, enjoy this cooler weather here for a period as we go through the early portion of April. There's Bakersfield bouncing back as well. So let's take a look at the extended now, and you can see there goes our next system. There's that stronger storm arriving there again as we go through next week. That it's going to cool us down a bit. And then that ridge wants to rebuild up the west coast of North America again. That would warm us back up. So that's why those temperatures continue to show some of the warming continuing. And then who knows what's going to happen after that. You see, again, kind of a big trough out here over the Pacific Ocean. Hopefully that's not going to keep amplifying the ridge across a lot of the Southwest USA. It just might, though. You can see there's that ridge again as we go all the way towards next weekend. Maybe something will change. We'll just continue to watch that on a day-by-day basis. We've been through enough already to start worrying about, remaining warm all the way through mid portions of April. Looking at the artificial intelligence, let's see what it shows as well. And you see the timing of the precipitation. Looks like what is that? Monday, it shows some across Northern California there. And as we go through Tuesday, Sierra Nevada, some of the Central Coast getting some light precipitation. Then that stronger storm arrives. It doesn't show a lot of precipitation getting much further south in the Bay Area and maybe some of the northern Sierra Nevada there. But again, we'll watch that here over the next few days. And then we do dry out thereafter for a bit. Total precipitation in inches, and you kind of see it looks like we trended downward a little bit because it shows a little bit getting down maybe to the mountain ranges of Southern California, but better amounts in northern portions. And yeah, I wish I had better to report on that. I was hoping for some more substantial storms out of this pattern change, but we have to take whatever Mother Nature wants to give us. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. You can see that next ridge already ramping up here, showing on the Climate Prediction Center, and that below normal signal for precipitation as well. So right now we're not in drought. We have some abnormally dry, but we're officially still drought free here in the state of California. However, you can see this yellow there for Northern California, generally Sacramento Valley, Lake Tahoe northbound. That is the yellow. Drought development is likely here as we go on into this upcoming spring and on into the early portion of summertime. And we'll see if the central or Southern California eventually gets extended. And that's going to depend on what happens here over the next couple months or so. So anyway, check out my El Nino video if you want. It's on the Patreon page. Those links should be down below. Facebook. We are on Facebook here as well. We'll do this all again tomorrow. We'll
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you for the start here. We're going to get off the dock and then we're going to count up our tickets. Right now I have 142, but we just want to double check the tickets. Got that, thank you.
Elbow, are you hearing radio?
You're walking right now.
5. One. Privateer checking in. Still hanging out. single, right? That sounds about what we did, and we stuck with the little one. Okay, cool, thank you.
The salty pigeon hailing Nalu tender, come back. La Playa. Back in. Do you have the tender or the dinghy or the full boat? Copy that. We're just doing a lap in La Playa. Not copy that. Whatever marbles are in the mouth. Please advise on action of booty spin. Does the booty actually spin, or is it just marketing? Now loose tender, salty pigeon, we're headed back to the split. Bear down. Boat Club, this is the Catch Me If You Can outside of J&K, heading back.
I got them back out.
Guy we saw yesterday.
I don't know, maybe. We'll be out here, we're just turning. I'll be hitting you up.
Captain Dave, Captain Dave.
Check.
Yeah, I mean, they have 10 people.
Copy, thank you. I knew it was tight.
Oh, down is open. Change them. If not, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, there's nothing else available today.
Top going 2-1. You guys are good if you don't have anything.
I gotta put my rods down. I'm gonna have to put my rods down, dude. This shit's flying everywhere. Come on, man. I thought you knew that shit already. Exactly. Rodney Dangerfield is driving it. Yeah. Big money can do whatever it wants.
Spirit San Diego, sailboat off your port side.
Go ahead, Spirit. For Spirit.
Spirit, I'll go ahead and take your stern if you want to go ahead and go ahead.
Copy that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
.35-foot cruiser, you've got kids on the swim step. Get them off of there.
Enough.
Station calling, Tom Strong. Okay, thank you very much. We will keep our course here and head for the anchorage. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hey, fellow Bay Cruiser, how you doing?
Super excited.
You know, it only takes 5 minutes to catch a halibut.
Was requested a fighting boat.
Requested what?
A fighting boat to fight a big fish in.
Oh, perfect. Well, I was told they're here to catch fish to bring home for dinner, that they want a sack full of fish to bring home, filleted. And guitar fish never tasted so good.
Love me a sand bass.
Could have just side-tie to each other and send Mark a video and be like, is this fucking close enough? Are we fishing close enough?
Not close enough if you ask me.
Send Trevor a video and be like, I hit your boat, sorry.
Switch boats.
Fun idea. Every hour of this trip, let's hop.
We can turn the boats 180 degrees every time.
Other than that, let's just tow each other. Every 30 minutes we split two tows so we get to fish each other's spots.
You're an absolute genius.
Pulling this gray boat in front of me out and just driving me straight into a buoy.
San Diego Bay, this is the Dolphin. Receiver bag. Good afternoon, we're out with 52 passengers, 5-2. We're all good on bait. See you tomorrow.
Alright, roger that, good luck. Is this our pal, the fish hunter right here? What was that? Our buddy, the fish hunter right next to me? Little thing? I think it might just be. I don't know. I don't even know what the boat is. I've never heard of it. But no, that's the long run or long fin. Yeah, I think it's like a 30-foot boat or something like that, or 40-foot. I googled it. It's one of those lures. It looks like if your boat was shrunk to 31 feet. Oh yeah, I think I saw it somewhere. Brother, you got something long, black, and dangly hanging off your bow. That's my dick. Left out here, I'm behind you guys. I gotta squeeze in. I'm closing the gap. Stand by. Closing the gap. Get in here tight, buddy. Alright, show me your cock. Over. Trying to choke everyone out with our smoke. Good, the sailboat's catching up. The smoke. All my smoke? Trevor's gonna beat me if I do that again. Open it up. Blow it out. Let's race. That's it. Our wakes are touching. Like it. Boy, there you go. White sport fishing vessel on a course of 103. Lean with it, roll with it. Get it. Your starboard bow hailing you on channel 16. Over. Surfing, dude. Put my trim tabs down and give you an even bigger wake. Vessel, Warship 3-4, request you switch to answer channel 2-3. Over, channel 2-3. You hit Mulla Mulla, then it fucking leaks into your bilge and you sink.
That is true.
We're back here. Hey, we got 41 passengers. We're all good on bait. Thank you. All right, roger that.
Narissa, Spirit of San Diego.
Spirit Narissa back.
Are you guys going to continue in South Bay, or should I overtake you on your starboard or port side?
You like pina coladas.
And we're gonna go end up going all the way down
Getting caught in my way.
to the bridge and then back. So I'll hold my course and speed. You can overtake if you like.
so I can leave it.
Copy, I'm going to take you on your port.
Roger that. Take me on my port.
Go over 3 knots and I can't steer. Radio check. Hey, so what does it mean when my bilge pump's been pumping out since we left the dock? Pump has? Yeah.
Coming in.
That's awesome. Second I put it in gear, leaving the landing, my LAS alarm went off and it has not shut off since. That's great news. Okay, I was talking to Coast Guard about the acceptable amount of water in a boat, and they actually think it's pretty high. They used their terms were in feet. I was a little surprised. That is quite the amount of inches in a foot. A little too much water for my liking.
That's what I said. I was like, I like no water. However, if I'm measuring the amount of water, I'd at least like it in maybe inches rather than feet. Hit 4.
San Diego Bay, Pegasus calling. You pick me up?
Yeah, I got you.
Hello.
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Hello.
Am I in K?
Bueno, radio, check.
Check, radio, check.
Loud and clear.
Bueno. Okay, so we're obviously going to stay over here a little. We're going to teach them about if they want a little more wind, they go out in La Playa here a little ways and turn around and come back. If they want this wind, they stay right where we're at.
John, what do we have any drills that we're doing?
Yeah, we're just going to reach around right where we are. We're going to have them sail, like you guys suggested, sail underneath. Here, we're just going to have them go back and forth over here. Jive. Him, his leadboard, I'd have him go more out haul if he's got more on there. Yeah, so reaching back right over here, avoiding jiving.
You out there, Jack? It definitely ramped up from what it was in the morning. It was still pretty strong when you left. Hey ho, here we go. This trip really fucking blows. I can't hear you. Said, hey ho, here we go. This trip really fucking blows. Figuratively and literally. Big Skull Bluefin Judo, we're gonna drop down and see how this goes. Your fishing spot for the day right there? Oh yeah, right here. You're really back at 4:15? None of my guys said they had to be back that early. The lady from the bus called me and said they have to be back before 4:30. The buses or something. It might be just my group, I don't know. I was told they have to be back before 4:30. Roger. We're gonna do the same then and play it safe. Deepwater, yeah. Like every other fish we have. Yeah, it's winding in and it's flipping. Current and wind against each other. This is going to make this fun. All lines are under the boat. Anything or I don't know. Perfect conditions. think the fish are sleeping today. I should call it.
Definitely with the check out here.
Try.
Water temp looks just right though, dude. It's a bummer.
A mark fly by. He is going to the 9 with the other boat. So stupid.
Oh, Mr. Fishing to himself? Indeed, a couple customers throwing up in his boat.
I don't even know how you could, like, leave the dock right now, look at the conditions, and say, yeah, it's good for the 9.
Boat Club, this is Debatable coming in.
We're going to try this. They don't have to. We're going to do Coach John follow the lead. Send them towards me if they want to do that to the light air behind Southwestern.
Good today. Yeah. We did okay. Caught some fish. Wanted more, but caught some. With that current that I heard you guys talking about was picking up, and we were getting good angle even with seeing fishing and stuff. There, but got a couple people might be able to catch them. Mostly not, but a handful of guys might be able to do something. Yeah. Looks like more lively calico action afternoons or something. Yeah. If you know what you're doing, you can do pretty good. Even that current, I think it'd be promising for a few people who know what they're doing. A little bit easier. Oh yeah. Oh, and I misunderstood. I'm not on that whale right now. I'm still in the bay. I'm still down there though, outside of. Hopefully some of that other stuff pops up. We didn't see any of it. We threw a decent amount of bait trying to lure one in or attract one for us. Right on. Yeah, I think that was my plan. I don't know. That one seemed a little better. It's going in the wrong direction for me, but I'm gonna try for it. We'll see what happens. Right on. Yeah. If I end up finding that other one down here, I'll let you know. Cool. Sounds good.
So we're going to get them over here, bail out their boat, let them bail out their boats, then we got to get the outhauls tight, and then we'll be going back across. No problem. Cool.
This is Northern Fence off. Free go ahead.
Pretty good. And push them up towards western a little, and then we'll be meeting over where I am, up underneath the club.
Hey, Dave.
Okay, we've out ready. Them over right where I am, and then they'll have to scoot back, and they've got to burp the main and the pump.
I had 2 hot bombs. Thank you, man.
Before we go.
Vessel requesting radio check. This is Coast Guard Sector San Diego. I have you loud and clear, Captain. Over.
It's Nettie, dude. Look at this. Incredible. He's planing with a double reed.
3518, kind of where we were seeing that humpback earlier. I swear we're not following you, Peregrine.
But I'm not sweating it.
And what time is it, by the way? I wonder if we could make it to the race dock right now.
From earlier, start moving down the line a little bit.
TZN saying it was moving up north, but we kind of got a map marker on our GPS of where we were seeing those fins and stuff last week. But we heard it was going north last time before we went in.
Roger.
Big puff. I think I've spooked Felix pretty good, so I'm going to grab him. Ryan, what are you doing?
Sliding into one of the slips over here.
Okay, no problem. Sasha, go ahead. Let's just grab Felix. I think I've spooked him pretty good.
Support, this is support, this is Armstrong.
March 28th, weather to talk about. I'm meteorologist Bill Martin. I do these every morning. Sometimes I don't do them on the weekends, but I am doing one today because we have incoming weather. It's a love letter to California, but it's based in weather forecasting. Today's forecast, tomorrow's forecast. We look at computer models in the front, do the technical stuff, which is awesome. You'll like it. And then we'll do the back half, which is more, hey, look at some live cameras. Hey, look, the tide's up, the swell's up. There's a lenticular cloud on Mount Shasta. Here's how they're formed. Let's see how the Eagles are doing in Big Bear. We kind of Huell Hauser it on the back end, if you will. Who I did love Huell Hauser. This is Hermosa Beach. Temperatures in Los Angeles today. Going to go 82 degrees, 84 tomorrow. So the next couple of days we stay warm. And that's what these Weather Service top lines represent. This is the Weather Service, I think, out of Sacramento. And they're saying, listen, this weekend's going to be another warm one. Record temperatures possible again today. We got temperatures still 20 to 30 degrees above the average. Records possible. And it's going to cool off Monday through Friday of next week as that trough comes in. And you'll see that in the models. You'll see it in the live cameras. Here's another Weather Service headline, top line. They're going, hey, look, yeah, it's going to rain, right? So that's their job. These are your taxpayer money pays for these guys to put out weather information. And so if you look at their weather pages, they often put on top lines or headlines. This is interesting one. This is out of the Northern Eureka office. And they're just saying, hey, rivers are swift, man, right? The runoff's pretty high, right? The snow's melting. Not a lot of snow in the mountains, but what snow was there is continuing to melt and create some really high flows for this time of year. So they're warning you it's going to be a warm weekend. Careful for the rivers. This is the ski season in a nutshell. Wow, isn't that a crazy? I mean, they are running out of snow to ski on, and the snow that's going to come. This is North Star. The snow that's going to come looked at one point like it could be 1.5 to 2 feet. The latest models are less aggressive than that, and it certainly doesn't look, based on what I'm seeing now, enough to save the ski season. And when I say save the ski season, listen, March hasn't been, but can be an incredible ski month. And it's typically when the snow depths are at their highest, right? Before, snow water equivalent is usually the highest right now. And then it trails off. It's been trailing off, as you can see here, this looks more like June to me. So this next event coming is not going to be enough to cover those hillsides based on what I'm seeing now. So the Pacific is all kind of hard to pick out what's going on. You got some vorticity centers. You see those cinnamon rolls, those little swirls? Those are low pressure centers for sure. They were at one point, the models had suggested, and you'll see what the models are doing. Here's one here. Here's one here, and there's one kind of down here. But it suggested these would all consolidate into a trough. And now the models are not as aggressive. So that's the live satellite. This is the GFS model. There is where the trough would be. That's where it is now. And the purple area, you see that little cutoff low? See how it's cutting off temperature-wise? And here it comes. This is on Monday. It just weakens. See how it just pinches? This whole area at one point was projected to come in. That was as of the day before yesterday models. And yesterday models flipped, and now they're aligning with this idea that it pinches off and just fizzles out. And then you'll see the ridge builds back in pretty quickly. This model, yeah. And you can see the trough kind of in the base, and there will be a little snow. Let's make it a little easier to look at. This is the 500 millibar anomaly temperatures. Just warm air where the jet stream is. So this is warmer over us, warmer than it should be. Oops. And then we'll go bring it through here. This is still warm, still above average. This is your weekend. There's Sunday. There's Monday. See the blues? Now up around the Pacific Northwest. Cool down, something, misses us. And then you see temperatures finally on Tuesday about average for this time of year. Not above average, about average. For the first time in it seems like a month, right? And then this is what the lows do. That one low pinches back. You see it retrograde. It went back. This guy went back that way. And then this one drops in. This is what's happening in the upper atmosphere. We'll look at it again from a different point. So you see a drive-by system. And then this low just fizzles out there. And we go right back into a warm event. Yeah, I know. Especially since the event that we are now backing away from looked like it was going to be legit, and now it doesn't. This is the vorticity, 500 millibar, same elevation up in the atmosphere, 18,000 feet or so. It moves around based on how warm the air mass is or how cold it is. And then there is the vorticity centers, those spins, the cinnamon rolls. And you see them try to get together, right? They try to get together, and that just retrogrades this one offshore and goes the other way. Must find some warm water and just fizzles out. So the best dynamics we're going to see are on Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning. Best dynamics for snow. So we see how this looks. This is GFS sea level pressure. Here we go. You see the thickness lines coming in. So that's your cool down on Monday. Thicknesses are dash lines. That's Monday. That's Monday night, Tuesday morning. Maybe something in the mountains, but that's not much. And then that's Wednesday morning. Good stuff for Crescent City. Right? I know. Not cool. It's been a hell of a March, man, right? Okay, this is let me move this down just a little bit. I guess I could do this, can I? Yeah. So this is GFS, or no, this is, sorry, that's got my models lined up all over the place here. This is, who are you? GFS, okay. And then this is just clicking through. It's a little more detailed. We already looked at the GFS, didn't we? The dark blue ones. This is sea level, surface. This is where we are down on the ground. Dash lines are thicknesses, which are up in the air. And black lines are surface pressure. And right now, there it is. That's on Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning. I know. And then that's on Wednesday. And it's all over. So that's one way to look at it. This is the accumulated. This is the whole deal right here. Let's see if I can move it back here. So that's, yeah, I didn't know that was coming. This is, unfortunately, that's it. That's how much rain is expected. That's the total accumulation. Crescent City, an inch of rain. Los Angeles, zilch. Maybe an inch of rain up in the Sierra Nevada, up on the foothills. I know. Again, how are we doing for water? We're doing pretty good, right? We got the reservoirs are high. So there's that. The six station index are coming down, but they're fine mainly because the snow melted so early. So in terms of water shortages, no. In terms of not having anything in the savings account, say we have another bad year next year or another bad year the next year, if you don't have that snow in the mountains, in the Rockies, in the Sierra Nevada, which we don't, the Colorado River's in trouble this year too. So we'll keep our eyes on it. Things could change. This model could change. It's far enough out. This is Northern California, looking towards Mount Jefferson off in the distance, Mount Shasta to the right. I would say, though, that, what can I say, though? I don't know. I would just love to see some rain in here. I think I guess, okay, here it goes. You called me apolitical, and I think this is still a political statement. Thank you for calling me that, by the way. I think that we should be doing water restricting, not like restricting, that's a bad word. We should start programs of water savings at least make noise. Put up a sign on the road from the California State Department of Water Resources. Go, hey, try to conserve. Just do that. Don't legislate anything, but just make people aware. Because how do you not? Like, I don't know how like Newsom doesn't go, yeah, things are weird. Maybe they will, but just make us be aware that you and I are aware because we're doing this every morning, right? And you've been watching. You just saw what I showed you. It's a little unsettling, isn't it? Right? Especially knowing California has had droughts that have lasted 50 and 100 years in far distant past. 10 years not out of the question. 2-3 years. It's our climate. It's a changing climate, most certainly. But it's our climate, and it's always been. Now it's just a little more extreme or a little less extreme, whatever. But maybe just make some noise. Just go, hey, let's conserve. Like, when I see people with I got rid of all my natural grass. I mean, I'm not a hero for that, but I did it because I'm cheap. Because it costs a fortune to water your lawn, and then it looks like ass when you don't water it, and then right. So I just did a different kind of landscape, which I actually love. It's more easier for me, but these are things we should be doing. Yeah. Okay. Had a couple beers last night. Oh, I went with Tolbert. This is Mount Shasta from Fort Jones. I did a live broadcast opening day with Tommy Tolbert, the old KMBR guy, Warriors forward, good friend. So we did a podcast yesterday. You can find it at Tommy Tolbert Show. I didn't crush it at all. I came in cold. I didn't know I was going to be on air. I just thought I was going over to say hi to him. But anyway, he's awesome. And the opening day was beautiful. That field work, these guys, by the way, field work, you guys, they gave me these. They're cool. They gave us a place. They gave us a nice shout out. Fieldwork is a brewing company, my first sponsor, technically, right? But they have a outdoor bar and restaurant, and they have a beach there, and it sits on the other side of China Basin. If you've been over there, it's absolutely awesome. Like, I would go sit over there and just watch the game because you get the whole energy of the ballpark. The TVs are going. It's really, really cool. It's really cool. Okay. So there's Mount Shasta. Eureka today goes, or Wairika goes 74. Tomorrow it goes 72. Mount Shasta today goes 70. Eureka with the fog. God, I love this shot. Eureka with the fog, it goes 60 degrees today, 59 tomorrow. Chico goes 80 degrees today. And then this is, come on, Bill. Where were you? Again, I had it and I forgot. The cameras move a little bit. Oh, Loyalton. Yeah. Let's go back to Loyalton. So there's looking towards Loyalton. Loyalton's interesting. You know how it got its name? This is out by Sierraville, kind of almost to Nevada, out closer to Pyramid Lake where this camera is. So you're looking to the north right now. But Loyalton got its name. Can you guess? Loyalton, loyal to the Union. Loyalton. Because back during the Civil War, San Francisco too, there was a lot of Confederate, not a lot, but there was quite a bit of Confederate noise. California didn't know which way it's going to go. Everybody had options at one point, right? Are you going to be with the Union or with the Confederacy? And Southern California had a lot of ex-Confederates, right? A lot of farmers. When the boll weevil came and the cotton went bad after the Civil War or before the Civil War, a lot of those folks came out. Was it after the Civil War? Yeah, it must have been after this. Yeah, it's boll weevil timed out differently. Anyway, there were a lot of different loyalty factions, and Loyalton was making it clear loyal to the Union, which is interesting. And San Francisco was never about to swing, but I think Broderick, I think there were a couple guys, I can't remember if it was Broderick, a couple guys who were pro-Confederate, which, interesting. So that's Loyalton. Loyalton today is going to go 68. This is the Paradise West Branch of the Feather River. I just love the way those canyons are cut out. Northern California, you guys, they're such cool. Like there's a trail that runs the whole way to the lake, to Lake Oroville, that you can take from Head Dam. You can see some air out in the distance too. That's your air quality. We're going to look at air quality coming up. But air quality today, not as awesome as we'd like to see it. This is San Francisco. This is Mount Tam looking back to San Francisco. And the fog, now it's starting to look like summer, isn't it? It's starting to look and feel a little more like summer, and it's not. And I looked at the profiler today. The profiler's not working that well because the environment's not quite, the inversion is not that pronounced, even though it does appear to be very pronounced. The sounding is down. The acoustic sounder is down by Fort Ord, so it's a different environment today, and they're not getting the shallow inversion like we're seeing. That inversion looks like it's about 1,200 feet. That means air quality is going to take a little bit of a hit, huh? It's shallow, and there's an inversion, and there's morning commute. Especially look at Sacramento, yeah, and then Modesto, Stockton, Modest. Remember Modest, right? Ralston. We talked about Modesto yesterday. It's named after, they wanted to name the town Ralston. The Big Four, railroad, octopus, super bazillionaire. I think not gold mine. I think he was part of the Virginia City thing, but the silver mines. But these guys got rich as hell and pretty corrupt. I'm not sure he was that awesome, but he goes, they go, we're going to name this little teeny town after you. And he goes, nah, like he's all being modest. So they named it Modest, and I assert a personality like Ralston is not going to go, don't name something after me. He's probably pissed that it's a little cow town and, it's not San Francisco or something. That's speculation, which I do a fair amount of. This is the Sutter Buttes, air quality again, looking towards the south, and kind of looking out towards Sacramento, I guess, if you will, from the Sutter Buttes, which is a super clean, pristine ecosystem. It's pretty private, most of the buttes. It's supposed to be the smallest mountain range in the world, but it in fact is not. They don't measure mountain ranges. There's, I'm sure there's other places that have. It's an ancient volcano, essentially, and it's just standalone. The volcano eroded around it, so it's this circular, kind of almost like a caldera, if you will, that's just left. This is Salinas Valley. Salinas today. Salinas, where are you? Fresno, 84. Bakersfield, 85. Salinas, 80. Maybe 70. It depends how far up the valley you go. It's closer out to Monterey. It's going to be a little bit foggier, and it is, in fact, foggier. This is the air quality. This is the air quality where we were just looking, and then in a minute we're going to go over to Bakersfield, Visalia, and Fresno. I can't remember the Fresno name. This is Bakersfield, looking towards the inversion. The inversion, as the day goes on, it's a little later this morning. It's like 9:40 or something. The inversions start to lift, but that's Bakersfield today. So the air quality, not horrid, Bakersfield. It's not bad. I wonder what LA looks like. That's Bakersfield. Temperature today in Bakersfield goes 85. Thanks for signing up. Thanks for watching. I'm certainly having fun. Tommy was asking me about what I'm doing and if I like it. And I go, yeah, it's super fun. I know. It's like it's like we got a bunch of cars where we're little kids in a play box, and we all got a bunch of cars, and we all make our roads and stuff like that. I'm getting to it. We all make our little roads, and this is my tunnel. You all kind of bumping, getting more room, and all you guys just go, hey, you got some really cool cars. That's me. And we're gonna sit on the side of the bench, and we're gonna play with our cars, but we're gonna watch you be the master car road builder. In other words, you can just do what you want. So it's kind of like, it's a little hoggy and piggy. It's not bullyish. It's just more like it's a platform, and I like playing with my cars. And this is playing with my cars, making roads and making connections and stuff. And I do it a lot for you guys, because I got a loyal bunch of dudes and women, but I do a lot of it for me because I would miss it. I would miss just checking everything. So when I get done here, I just go, oh yeah, that's what California looks like today. Okay, what do I want to do now? Right? It's sort of the fuse. It's sort of this flashpoint for my day. There's Los Angeles. What's the air quality like? Doesn't look very good, does it? Pasadena gets a much better air quality, don't they? Up the hill a little. So this is air quality in LA. I think it's pretty ucky, yeah. All the way to the beach. Thousand Oaks, Pasadena. Pasadena's got a little bit of air, huh? I guess it back bleeds. But all the way down to Oceanside. So now the inversion's set up down there, and it's starting to, that's just, a little bit of a summer pattern. This is Oceanside, or looking towards Oceanside, towards the west. There was fog. The fog has gone away. These are the forecast highs for today. What did I miss? Oh, I missed, oh, no, I didn't miss that. Okay, Loyalton we got. Eel River. We don't really talk about the eel, so, right, dude. It's the best thing, too. You guys let me do this. So I find the eel. So the Eel River, that's the drainage basin that goes into Fortuna and into Eureka. The Eel River runs from south to north, and it takes a left around somewhere around Fortuna and goes out to the ocean. So most rivers run from north to south, right? In this state, the way, or west to east, or east to west, right off the Sierra Nevada. But this river runs from the south to the north, which is unusual. It's one of the largest undammed rivers in California, the Eel, which I think makes good steelhead fishing. It goes up really fast. It floods pretty easy, and we've seen that a lot. I think even last winter we had some flood advisories and warnings on it. And then to the north is the Mad River drainage basin, which is a smaller river, but also goes up fast, comes down fast. Okay, so Eel River, it's a drainage basin. This is today, and then tomorrow. Tomorrow's a little warmer. 87 in Fresno tomorrow. Wow. And so we're back into potential record territory for sure, today and tomorrow. And then there is the Cinnamon Roll there to the north. And Big Ridge, a high pressure over the middle of the country where you'll see coming up, they have, so the ridge, right? So here's kind of the jet stream. And there's a trougher here, I think. But this area here is creating fire danger, wind, very above average temperatures, and that continues for us as well through this weekend. So the weekend's going to be awesome. Pollen, we talked about yesterday, tree pollen's kind of a thing for sure, for everybody, basically the whole country. And I would think, God, it's early, but the grasses are coming on. Oh, I'll include, you know what I might do? No, I'm not going to do it. Every time I say I'm going to do it, I forget to do it. I bumped into a big rattlesnake 2 days ago now, and I'm getting a lot of reports of rattlesnakes out and about. So keep your eyes peeled. I bump into them all the time just because where I ride. But this is early. And this one he's good size. He's like 4 foot, 4.5, 5 feet maybe. He's big. But he had... it was green kind of. This early in the season, the rattlesnakes tend to stay kind of morph into the grasses. I don't know the biology behind all that, but they're green. This guy was green. Couldn't see him. I mean, I could see him. A really beautiful snake. I would, maybe I'll try to put a picture on the end, but keep an eye out for him. This is Ocean Beach. And even though it's surfable, I wouldn't go just because I decided I don't like surfing in the fog anymore. And I have a theory that sharks are a little goofier in the fog because of the shadows and stuff. They're not sure what they're looking at. They don't want to bite a surfer, but if it's foggy and there's no light and they're not sure what they're looking at and the water's murky, they'll just hit it, just taste it. They call it getting bumped. I've never been bumped, but I know guys who've been bit by sharks. But getting bumped sounds almost worse because like if you're a fly fish and the dry fly's sitting on top of the water, and have you ever seen especially a good sized browns usually take it, but the rainbows will have a tendency to flash it and bump it and push it just to see, what is that? And they'll kind of hit it and move this fly. Just picture an 18-foot white shark doing that. And it happens. Like I know guys who, I don't know anybody who's been bumped. I know guys who've been in the water and have seen guys get bumped. And it's just, and then nobody's hurt. I mean, they say it hurts a lot. The shark hits you pretty hard, but it happened. Those don't get those. The thing you guys don't know about sharks, white sharks, especially in California, especially in Northern California, most of the encounters don't get reported. I've seen 1, 2, 3, been in the water twice. We didn't report it. I didn't report. You don't report it. The most, especially in Southern California, they report everything. They report dolphins and call them sharks. Kidding, but so many new people in the water now have a tendency to see sharks where there aren't sharks, but there are a lot of sharks. My point being, we don't report it. Encounters very, very rarely. Now when a shark bites a surfboard, that's a bite. That's considered, they call it an attack, but it's just a mistake. That gets all the headlines, and that'll run for days on your YouTube feed. But a guy this afternoon up at Humboldt gets bumped by a 12-foot white shark, you're not going to hear about it. Not typically, because he's going to go home, tell his wife that was weird. That's surfers, man, right? This is Point Conception. There are a lot of sharks here. I just sat cross-legged the other day on the bike trip and listened to a guy, a very famous shark attack. He was in the boat with his brother, the Revstock shark attack in Santa Barbara at the ranch in the 70s, right after Jaws. You can Google it, Revstock. I can't remember the kid's first name, but the little brother was in the boat. And he said they were diving and surfing. There was no swell, so they were going to go dive. And so his brother was getting into the water, and this shark came up. And his brother, the guy who was telling the story, I've heard the story. I've known this guy forever. And it was in the newspaper. Shark came, just lifted him out of the water. The whole shark had him by his armpits, like this. It was Rob Revstock was the guy in the shark's mouth, and his brother was just watching that. His brother, and to this day, even Rob goes. Rob passed, unfortunately, the guy who got bit. You'll read the story, but Rob goes. Because my brother was more messed up by it than I was, because he was in the shark. Rob was in the shark's mouth, but the brother had to see it, and the brother at the time was only like 15 years old. But he was just telling that story around the campfire the other night, and I was like, yeah, that's messed up. I didn't surf for a couple days. All right, Rando. This is Jackie. You can tell. We must be getting close, bird people. Clue me in on where we are with her. The activity's going to start once the babies get there. So that's Jackie and Shad and Jackie, Big Bear Eagles. Friends of Big Bear Valley. And she's got a following. She's got millions of people watching her. And we started off with a clutch early that would be, they'd be, I don't know if they'd be big by now, but they got lost to the crows, and then she was able to stay fertile and get another clutch going. This is Mammoth. They got pretty good snow coverage, I think. This is, or where were you, Yosemite Falls? Yeah. The Ahwahnee Native Americans called it Cholok, the fall. And it's 2,000, it stopped. Okay, man. It's 2,425 feet tall. It's not the tallest waterfall in the United States, but it's one of the tallest waterfalls in the United States. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting, I guess, now is the flow usually isn't this heavy, but because of all the snow melt, it's the peak of the runoff this would normally be June, but here we are in March, and it looks like peak runoff right now, right? So April, so we're a good month, April, May. We're almost a month and a half, 2 months ahead of peak, and it's probably flowing almost at peak right now, which is sort of sucky. And then this is Venice Beach. What did I miss? Loyalton I thought was interesting. Eel River, I kind of knew it moved from south to north. You see it when you're going up Highway 101. Incoming storm, yeah. This incoming storms really created... Well, you know what happens is, and I was listening to one of the other YouTube guys who I respect, Mark Finan. He's a good guy. And he was saying, he's right. He's like, what happens is we get into these long drought periods, and any glimmer of hope, we all grab onto it. All meteorologists do this, because it's been day after day after day of record high temperatures. And then you see these models kind of coagulate on one solution, like, oh, here we go. Right, and it was for about 2 days. It was looking pretty right, and then yesterday it just went the other way. And that doesn't mean it couldn't go back. It could, and like this. But right now, it looks like a third the storm it was going to be. I may not even be able to call it a storm. May just be able to call it an event, if you will. Okay. Thanks for watching. Saturday edition. Yeah, what the hell? I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday. See you here.